Legal frameworks governing virtual beings and AI-generated digital identities. The increasing sophistication of AI-generated virtual beings, deepfakes, and digital influencers has led to legal and ethical challenges regarding transparency, identity protection, and IP rights. Governments are responding with a variety of legal measures, from deepfake disclosure laws to biometric data regulations, but enforcement remains inconsistent. As AI-generated personas gain commercial and societal influence, the question of licensing, ownership, and liability becomes increasingly relevant. This section introduces the scope of legal issues associated with virtual beings, highlights key concerns surrounding their regulation, and outlines the objectives of this paper in analyzing global legislative efforts. The US has taken a fragmented approach to deepfake regulation, with federal agencies and state governments implementing separate policies. The Federal Trade Commission, FTC, issued a final rule in 2024 prohibiting AI-generated fake reviews, testimonials, and endorsements. Several states, including California, Utah, and Colorado, have enacted laws requiring AI bots to disclose their artificial nature when engaging with consumers. Washington State introduced a law mandating explicit disclosure of synthetic media in election-related content to curb deepfake-based political misinformation. These measures emphasize transparency but do not yet provide a comprehensive framework for deepfake accountability. China has been proactive in regulating AI-generated content, particularly deepfake technology. In 2022, China introduced laws requiring AI-generated media to be labeled to prevent manipulation and misinformation. The National Radio and Television Administration, NRTA, later proposed a technical standard for digital virtual humans, outlining security measures, application scenarios, and compliance requirements. In February 2024, China implemented new transparency rules requiring YouTubers and AI influencers to disclose their real identities, a move that has sparked debates over digital privacy and censorship. The EU has adopted a consumer protection and transparency approach to AI governance. The AI Act, 2024, mandates that AI-generated content be labeled and identifiable, ensuring users are aware when they interact with non-human entities. Additionally, the EU has introduced strict regulations against deepfake misuse in political advertising and media, reinforcing the need for AI transparency in electoral processes. While the AI Act strengthens disclosure laws, it does not directly address licensing concerns related to AI-generated likenesses. The entertainment industry faces increasing challenges from AI-generated digital clones. Hollywood actors and musicians have raised concerns over the unauthorized replication of their voices, faces, and performances through AI. California's upcoming 2024 legislation aims to protect performers from unauthorized digital replicas, requiring explicit consent before an AI-generated version of their likeness can be used. Studios and streaming platforms have also begun negotiating licensing agreements to regulate the use of AI-driven digital doubles in media production. Biometric privacy laws play a crucial role in regulating AI-generated digital humans. Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act, BIPA, has been at the center of lawsuits against AI companies accused of unauthorized facial data collection. In 2024, Ready Player Me, an avatar platform, faced a class action lawsuit under BIPA for scanning and storing facial data without user consent. Similarly, Take-Two Interactive and Amazon faced legal scrutiny over the biometric data collected through the NBA 2K Scan Your Face feature. These cases underscore the growing importance of licensing biometric data before integrating it into AI-generated avatars. South Korea has taken a cautious approach to AI-generated works, granting partial copyright protection for AI-assisted creations classified as edited works. However, fully AI-generated content does not receive copyright recognition. The country's legal stance aligns with the U.S. Copyright Office's position that AI-created works lack human authorship, making them ineligible for protection. This legal uncertainty raises concerns over ownership rights for AI-generated personas and the potential for unauthorized commercial exploitation. As the metaverse grows, legal scholars have debated whether avatars and virtual beings should be granted legal personhood similar to corporations. Some experts argue that digital personas should have distinct identity protections to prevent unauthorized use, while others caution that such legal recognition could lead to unforeseen liabilities. Proposals for a private law framework governing avatar ownership and identity rights continue to evolve, but no jurisdiction has yet implemented comprehensive legislation on this matter. Germany has raised concerns over AI-generated political figures and the potential for deepfake-driven disinformation campaigns. Lawmakers have debated whether AI-generated influencers should be held accountable under election laws, especially when used to manipulate public opinion. Discussions have also centered on whether political deepfakes should be classified as fraud, leading to calls for stricter penalties on synthetic media misuse in political contexts. China's AI governance extends beyond transparency laws to cover digital humans in entertainment, finance, and e-commerce. Regulatory measures require AI-powered digital humans to comply with traditional media laws, preventing misleading or fraudulent representations. These regulations establish a strict compliance framework, but also raise concerns about government control over AI-generated personas. A standardized licensing model for AI-generated digital beings is needed to protect individuals from unauthorized replication. Such a model would require explicit consent for deepfake usage, similar to copyright licensing for creative works. Potential solutions include digital identity registration systems and blockchain-based verification for AI-generated personas. The ethical challenges of AI-generated personas include concerns over misinformation, consent, and digital immortality. AI-driven recreations of deceased individuals, such as Microsoft's digital immortality chatbot, have raised moral questions about posthumous publicity rights. Licensing frameworks should address these concerns by ensuring that individuals maintain control over their digital identities even after death. Ongoing legal challenges include whether AI-generated personas should receive IP protection, how licensing agreements should be enforced globally, and how to address the rise of AI-generated misinformation. The future of AI persona regulation will depend on international cooperation and the development of robust digital identity frameworks. The legal landscape for virtual beings remains fragmented, with different jurisdictions adopting varied regulatory approaches. While deepfake and AI transparency laws are becoming more common, licensing and copyright protections for AI-generated personas remain underdeveloped. China has taken the most aggressive regulatory stance, requiring real identity disclosures for AI influencers, while the US and EU focus more on consumer protection and transparency. Biometric privacy laws play an increasingly important role in regulating AI-driven identity replication, but gaps in enforcement persist. Moving forward, legal frameworks must balance innovation with privacy, ownership rights, and ethical considerations to ensure that AI-generated digital beings are used responsibly.